Hey, what's going on? I am Ramsey. So what? And this is the A-Side, B-Side podcast, a brand of podcast by what'sthemoment.net. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you for taking time to press play. This is episode 307, my exclusive interview with Shawn Crysis. This episode should have been come out, but we recorded this top of the year. Things happen, life happens, but here it is. We're out. Me and him talk about his music. We talk about colorful conversations, planning events, being an educator, just juggling this thing we call life.
Don't come for
I don't think I should talk for too long. I think you should just sit and wait and enjoy this interview. But in the meantime, I have some music for you. This is by Curator. This is kind of an eclectic kind of sound compared to what we used to hear from him.
Back to the basics, hit the ground running and it's back to the pavement. Back to the days that we met and we crept to your parents' basement. Heartbreaking tears, I gotta face them. Wondering if you still for the same man. Still for the same man. Yeah. Where are you now? Where are you now? I can't love you, can't stay around. I lost you and you're not good for me, but I want you back. All of our love is gone. All of our love is gone. All of our love is gone. All of our love is. All of our love is gone. All of our love is gone. All of our love is gone. All of our love is. What's love to a cynic? Remember running around busting traps in the Civic. Certain issues I don't think we ever just confronted, but I think in reality we were just scared to feel it. The kick to my snare, the 808 to my drum. Heart beats fast, all bass stay pump. Out of touch now, this race they run. Gotta rain now, can't stay my son. Yeah. Patterns break, can't stay in a cycle. Never meet another, there's no one like you. I release you on a full moon. I really don't wanna be used to see you. I see you now, you're see through. You see through. I don't see you. Where are you now? Where are you now? I can't love you, can't stay around. I lost you and you're not good for me, but I want you back. All of our love is gone. All of our love is gone. All of our love is gone. All of our love is. All of our love is gone. All of our love is gone. All of our love is gone. All of our love is.
Alrighty. You mind if I crack this open?
Go ahead. Do your thing. That's
Absolutely. I can't say what it is because they don't sponsor the podcast, but
Yeah, that's fine. It's red wine.
yeah, it's good stuff too. So if you're listening, yeah, maybe I'll pitch something to them. That's for you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you. You brought it over. I got some Prosecco in the fridge chilling if you want some of that too.
Okay, that's it. We about to turn all the way up.
But I should probably introduce myself. I am Ramsey Said What. This is the A-Side, B-Side podcast, a brand of podcast by what'sthemovement.net. As always, thank you guys for taking the time to listen, press play, rate, subscribe, review, all that stuff I should say in the beginning of podcasts. But a very special guest. This is like a long time coming. We should have did this mad long ago, but it's fine. You're here now. I'm actually going to let you introduce yourself.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. Yes, this has been a very long time coming. You know how people will always say, like, oh, we're going to link up. And just never link up.
Yeah.
Finally get to link up.
But we be busy, though. Like, we're not just, like, doing nothing.
Just ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
God. Oh. Government-wise, my name is Shawn Lawson Jr. Artistly-wise, I am Shawn Crysis, the sharpest thing since ISIS. I've been going through this phase of like shedding off of like ego and exactly who I am, and like, am I more than just Shawn Crysis? Like, and am I just Shawn? And like the multifacetedness of Shawn.
I feel that.
But yeah, Shawn Lawson, Shawn Crysis, hip hop artist, poet,
A true Renaissance man for sure.
Educator, business thrift owner, friend,
brother,
part-time lover, brother.
That's probably one of the best intros I've ever had on this show. I swear to God it was. But thank you for coming, man. Yeah, so you do a lot. So you're an educator. So what age group, grade level do you educate?
So I've been doing education education in a sense, probably since my cane years.
Okay.
I got first introduced to like just service with youth when I was around 2015. I was on this group called Rotaract, which is kind of service-based oriented, and we went into Boys and Girls Club of Union, and I helped kind of like facilitate the pathways to manhood, pathways to manhood program. First working with like just middle school students.
Yeah.
And I think that kick-started, I think, just continuously working just with youth. So it was from there to the Dr. Marion Bowden Center in Newark, where I was a poetry instructor with like Nelly and Shelly. We did some really great like activities. Yeah, and it was a great time period. Worked at the Eagle Academy doing some volunteering of like high school students out in Staten Island. And just in the mix, I've always just been like running different workshops. And right now I am a global speaker for a nonprofit organization called the Diversity Org, and which basically pairs low income minority students with multi-billion-dollar companies like JP Morgan Chase, Verizon, all of them other, Nickelodeon, all of them other like all these companies, and run workshops on assertive skills for women, career exposure panel, code switching, financial health and literacy. So I facilitate those workshops. So it's just like
that's really dope, man.
So middle school and high school.
Yeah, you're doing God's work, man.
Thank you,
straight
man.
up, man. That's dope as hell, man. So like, how do you find the time to also rap, to also spit, to also do poetry, to also you throw shows? What are you not doing? And then like you have this thrift company, which is dope. I can't believe I haven't bought anything from you yet, but we'll get there. I imagine.
Yes, absolutely. At a certain point, I did not have time to do it all. Like I did not, or a lot of things were like, I want to say sacrifice, but a lot of things was just kind of like pushed off. And I think I'm coming back into a season where I'm like recognizing the importance of like keeping at least my pencil alive and my pen alive. But on the regular, like it would be like from like 8:30 to like basically from 8 to 8, I would be doing like work-based things, whether it's actual work that I was doing, whether I was like running a college readiness program at one point. Now I work at Rutgers, overlooking like a residence hall, but I was doing that, and then just having that time frame from like 8 to 8 basically be like, okay, this is work time. And then I would randomly sometimes let myself or allow myself the creativity to kind of like happen afterwards. But there was always, up until recently, there was always this aspect of like, this shit is a task. And I don't feel like writing right now. I'd rather just chill and cook and clean and eat and be. But it's definitely been a juggle.
Yeah, because like as far as like finding the energy and creativity to write, like I mean, I'm not writing in the same manner that you are, but I don't even have that anymore. That's why we're on a podcast now at this point, actually. but nah, I'm joking, but I'm also serious. That's insane, man. Do you feel like your creativity is being like put at risk by the other things you're doing?
Put at risk.
I know that might be a reach.
No, that's a crazy. No, I really like that term because it makes me think like, yes, I feel like it does in certain points, because I feel like I put so much, I guess, mental energy into being like, yo, I want to make sure like I'm not broke and I'm just like just doing what I got to do. And at a certain, for like the last like year, that is what took like precedence of it all, of like just making sure that I'm like somehow stable inside of some career, and whether it's applying for jobs, whether it's resume revamping, networking with people, LinkedIn, whatever it may be. That in like the last year, I feel like I haven't written like that much.
Like, I mean, when was the your last project? You dropped that in 2020?
That was,
or 2021?
That was 2021.
Yeah.
That was 2021.
It's 2 years ago. This is the first episode of this year. We were just talking.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. It's also like my Christmas tree's still up. We was talking about that off record. So for those of you listening, you have a good idea when we're recording. But yeah, man. So you dropped your last project 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2023 now. Do you have any idea of doing something? Because like you do concept projects,
Yeah.
with like visual assistants that's like very, very accurate to the music. I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people like paint narratives in a video different than like the song theme, but
Yeah.
you found a way to kind of like
Make sure they
put
align.
that all together. Yeah. So like a project on the horizon this year. I mean, it's early. It's still
It is
January.
early.
So
I'm so happy that it is early, because if this was like September, I'm like, nah.
okay, so nothing in the
Call me
first
at the
quarter.
top of the year. There's accountability coming.
Yeah.
It's something that I have been just flirting with,
Mm-hmm.
but understanding what is this gift that I want to give to myself?
Yeah.
Like, what is this album that I want to give? Because I feel like the only project that I've given to myself was my first album, Table for One, which was just
Yeah.
all about the dreams and ideologies of a social isolate. And I feel like now I'm coming into the space of being more honest and being more vulnerable with myself, and me taking this journey. I want to be able to reflect that and have this just really be like an audio journal for myself. And me also exploring my Puerto Rican side, because I feel like I've been so heavily concentrated in just like the black side of me that I lost touch, or that I just got distanced away from my Puerto Rican side. So I think that is where this year is like leaning into, and will be reflected inside of the music as well as the poetry as well too.
Yeah. Do you have family over there?
Yes,
Like,
I
currently?
have
Dope.
my abuela and mi tia that are both kind of like out there right now, and then everyone else is scattered all over the United States.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
So definitely not a first quarter drop, but you know,
No, definitely not a first quarter drop. I think I'm like coming back into a space of like writing and getting comfortable with like writing every day. And like I've been pairing my photography with my poetry and just call it like photo tree, whatever it may be. But just that's been kind of like prompting me to almost like how we had picture prompts like in fifth grade where you had to write about the picture. So it's like me taking that same idea and just getting back into like formulating words and sentences and ideas, and how do I just take this and just run with it rather than trying to be so perfect or trying to have it be, I gotta put 17 entendres in these next two lines. Like,
okay.
Having more just fun with it.
Okay. Do you feel all right, so when I asked you, like, do you still have family over there? The first people you said was your grandmother and your aunt. A lot of your music is like about women and like for women almost.
Yeah.
And I thought that was intriguing because you were also saying like, hey, like these are audio journals. Like you're writing to yourself too.
Yeah.
How do you? You definitely have to have come from a matriarchal family for sure.
Oh man. I would say that me growing up in a household where it's predominantly like women, it was my mom and my two sisters.
Yeah.
And that was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, think about it, like, yes, and I think I don't want to say it took on like feminine ways, but understood like the woman a little bit differently to see how things can affect a woman, whether it be relationship wise, domestic wise, just societal wise. I think I was able to see that.
Yeah.
And I think that women have always played like a strong focal point in my life, because I feel like women are like really gifts from God. And like they have like the greatest wisdom, and things sometimes be so clear to them, and I latch on to that clarity because I live in the gray area damn near 24/7. So being able to just to listen to women and being able to just learn from them, I think is what like allows me to like just talk about my relationship with women.
Yeah. Not that, and it shows in the music. It really does. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll break down the music.
Yeah.
Yo, this Joe College. Head over to sipxsav.com and lace yourself. Stop playing with it. It's more than apparel. It's a lifestyle.
This is Mike Brown, president of Each One Teach One Incorporated. We're a 501c nonprofit mentoring program for boys ages 9 to 17. We have both group and one-on-one mentoring.
For more information, go to eachoneteachone.org or send an email to contact@eachoneteachone.org.
Hey guys, this is Gabby, chief editor and founder of JDO Magazine. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at JDOMag. That's at JDOEMAG. We're available in digital and print. This magazine's for artists, rappers, singers, designers, athletes, entrepreneurs, anybody who's consistently working on their craft, their passion, their talent, who wants to showcase their talent on another level. If you're interested in being featured or placing an ad, shoot us an email or send us a DM and let us know what you do. JDO Magazine is the go-to place for entertainment and networking. That's JDO Magazine, your passion, your style, your vision, your platform.
We're back. This is Shawn Crysis interview.
Yes.
Talked a little bit about like influences from women, especially his first two projects. One was like a she-lute or interlude.
So there was Table for One, there was Hang On.
A she cursor is what I was trying
and
to say.
there was She Cursor, there was Nice to Meet You, which was like the She Cursor, and then there was She that followed up with that.
She's one of my favorite ones. Do you like go back and listen to your old stuff?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Like, is it like a critical kind of situation, or like you?
No,
it was a day where you woke up and you wanted to hear yourself.
Low key, yes. I think that is the case. There's like certain days where I'd be like, I don't want to listen to nobody. I just want to listen to myself and just like
that's dope.
And like really like sing along with like my own self. And I think I've got over the point of like the engineering, some of the engineering, because I engineered like. Besides one project, I engineered every other project it is that I had. So like I get past like the little nuances. I'm just like, oh God, I wish I could read back and do that. But yeah, it's certain songs that like I like to revisit and have fun while like working out or like just be randomly in the house.
That's dope, because that's not me with this podcast. Like after it's edited, and maybe some promo, a couple more edits I did on the side, I don't listen to this joint. No, I listen to it the day it comes out. Yeah, and then I don't listen ever again. Never again, unless like I'm interviewing somebody that I've interviewed before, so I'm making sure I'm not asking the same questions.
I feel that. I respect that.
But besides that, I do not come back to this podcast at all. So thank y'all for listening.
Yes, absolutely.
Couldn't be me. So it's not like a grueling process going back and listening to your own. I mean, that I guess that's got to be like one of those things about being an artist. Mm-hmm. Like maybe you're not doing it right if you're not who you want to listen to. Yeah. From time to time, at least. Yeah. Like with that, it sounded like arrogant or, but.
Yeah, because I sometimes think like, do I want to listen to this? There's like certain songs where I be like, I don't want to listen to this. Mm-hmm. Those are the songs that I usually even skip for myself. But then those are also songs that I find out somebody actually does like. So I think it's just all perspective of the ear and what people kind of like gravitate towards. Yeah. But like there's always pinpoint songs where like I think that like even motivate myself. Like there was a certain point when I was like losing like mad weight. I was like 319 at my heaviest.
Wow. I would have never guessed that. I've seen you in the gym going hard, man.
Yeah. This is like 2013, 2012. I was like 319 at my heaviest. Wow. And every day or every other day I would always run 5 miles at Workout World. Wow. And there would be like towards the end of the run where I was like, I don't got it. I would immediately start singing the first track off of my first project, Reservations, and I'm like, I can't quit on myself. I can't not stop running, so I have to like keep running.
Wow, that's fire, yo. That's a beautiful story, yo.
Yeah, that was my thing.
Wow. So like, you talked about like the songs other people like. What do you think, or what has been like what you've received from like the people that listen to your music? What do you think their favorites are?
From the last one, I would say Follow Me. Just because it was like upbeat and it was fun and it was of the trendy current sound that's going on. Touchdown with Karma, because she absolutely slayed that entire track. And it's more vibey. It's more like it's more for the women, more so. But it's a really great vibe. I would think.
I guess Hallelujah. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I make a confession?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't like Hallelujah.
Really?
I loved writing it, and it was so beautiful. But I think after hearing it so many points and like either engineering or syncing it up to the video and then doing the video for it, and then like,
but even then, like you drew a treatment for a video, and executed.
Kim drew the treatment.
Okay.
Chemistry, she drew that entire thing.
Yeah.
I said, "Yo, church." She was like, "I got you." She kept going. She
but
went.
It's dope, man.
Yeah.
You guys went off on that. I got to get her on this podcast too.
She would be an amazing person to be on here. But that I guess I have to not listen to it for a while in order for it to still have the same weight that it had the moment it is that I stopped writing it.
Okay.
So it's like I have to randomly hear it. Like I don't go searching for Hallelujah. It just has to be like, all right, I'm gonna let this rock out, and I'm here for it.
So like on the DSPs, and I'm asking from managers to an artist perspective. On the DSPs, damn, I forgot what I was about to ask. That is crazy.
Was it about the tracks? I know we were talking about like favorite tracks, DSPs, favorite. What did the people
now
say?
I remember. It's what I wanted to ask was like, when you listen to your music, like your algorithm, what have you found like to be the related artists that they suggest after your song is off?
Oh, I only have Apple Music, so I've never seen what happens afterward. Okay. And it would just kind of like just be me.
Yeah. So you know that like infinity symbol on there? Like if you're on Apple Music, if you click that, it'll like start a track radio after the last track you played.
Really?
Yeah, so it'll kind of like, and it's like it's partially influenced by what's in your library too, but it's related to like whatever the last thing you played is. So like when you get the chance, check that out.
I was like, can you do it? Because I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah.
So I think it may, because I don't know if it'll go off of you or go off of me.
No, if it goes off of, you know what? I think it also.
I feel like who came, even though I don't listen to Omen, I feel like Omen came up after me from like Dreamville.
Yeah. He has a track. He has a mixtape called Elephant Eyes. That's fire.
Elephant Eyes. Okay, I never listened to Omen like that.
So, you got yours set. You see that like infinity symbol?
Oh, I never knew what the hell that was. I thought it just played the song forever.
Yeah, no, it'll if you're not set to repeat, it'll start like a radio station off of that.
Oh, okay. Let's see where it goes into. It goes from Hallelujah, and then it goes into. Oh shit! It repeated.
It's so good.
It goes into Mr. Jackpot, whoever the hell that is, and then there's Maxine, Ashley, and then I've never heard any of these people.
Okay, I was wondering if it would like group you with like people you've done features with or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I know Tidal does that, but I don't know if anybody else does that. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been thinking from like a algorithmic standpoint lately about music and shit like that. But just curious. What else was I gonna ask? Okay, so this is like off topic, kind of a left turn, but
let's go.
It's a question I found myself asking a lot of people lately. Who would you say, like, you know how people say, oh, like, who's your biggest influence? And I think that's cliche and played. Yeah. If you had musical parents, like, who would be your musical parents be in terms of like the music you make, the music you grew up on, like
the music I
like
grew
what
up.
Two people have you as the kid?
Fontaine and DMX.
Okay. Nah, that's dope.
I would say Fontaine and DMX. With a little bit of like Lupe and Joe Budden, maybe somewhere there was there was an entanglement somewhere in there.
Yo, no, but that's dope. I fuck with Fontaine heavily. And DMX. Why DMX?
he was my brown sugar moment.
Okay.
There was a certain point. I know that there was a certain point where I just came home from school and like my dad was just randomly and like just in the living room with like a white beater on, his like white beater and his red shorts. That was like his like cartoon character outfit. And this man was just, I came home from school, I dropped my book bag out on the couch, and this man is just like rapping at me like mad hard and aggressive. Like, yo, what is happening? With a jewel sweet in his mouth. I'm like, what is happening? Yeah. And like, he was rapping "Get at Me, dog," and like there was a point where he was like, "Protective Viper, stand back." And I think there was something energy wise that kind of like
crazy
Kamehameha me, like hit me like right here, and I was just like, yo, oh my god, I love this so much.
You know when a real nigga rapping because you feel that shit.
Because you feel that shit. And that shit was transferred for real.
Yeah,
and
that's funny.
And I've just always appreciated this, like, the honesty and vulnerability, like even going back to like his and he would just talk about like a lot of struggles and shit that he was going through, even though I really couldn't relate with some of the stuff. I appreciated the passion that was inside of it. And I think that's what transferred me over to being such like a Joe Budden like fanatic as like I was.
Joe Budden is dope too, man. Like I feel like I haven't listened to as much Joe Budden as I should have. But like I mean I listened to the Loose Quarters and yeah, not just like the latest stuff, but yeah, that guy was sad, man. That guy was sad.
He was just angry, upset, but there was this like dopeness that's inside of it, because it's just like, yo, you are really making emo music. Like this is heavy. Like how do you write like I wish I could get my comeback. Like, yeah, I wish I could get my comeback from Baby Mother because I don't fuck with her that much. Like, that's a crazy line.
Yo, and to put it on wax, that's actually crazy.
So, like, but I think there was this vulnerability and like this non-care that I think that he always carried. Even I think he carries to this day. Just what his mannerisms is, that he just was just okay with just really being as raw as possible.
Yeah, I wonder how that affects like the women in his life. Like,
I mean, I don't know his love life, but I listen to his love life.
In fact, so you do. So we all know.
So we know a little bit. Yeah. So there's that.
Nah, like so is that a thing you've had to tackle in your music, like writing about the women in your life and like
that is what she was about.
Yeah,
she says everything was about just multiple different women. Like there was like women where it absolutely took the forefront of like the track. Like A Love Story was about one of my was about my one partner and how me and her met. And then another track was about a woman that I was like deeply infatuated with and just couldn't shake off of me. And then at the last track of it all, the She Says Everything is called Patterns, that talked about everyone and what my pattern was with each and every one of these women, and what was the infatuation and what was the downfall of just me just being so enamored and taken just by women in general.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah, no, it was
heavy as shit.
I don't ever return to that track. Like I feel like I listen to that track and I'm like, oh my god, I'm just letting it all go right here.
Would you listen to it like after a breakup or something?
No, God. I feel like I would listen to a Joe Budden track. Just
that's the same thing. Just not you.
Just not me. Nah. But just like thinking about patterns, like it allowed me to recognize my own destructive patterns. It is that I was having just relationships with just multiple women, never at the same time. It was just like,
you better than me, because that was not the case for me. I'm married. I'm just honest.
That's it. Ring on finger.
Yeah. Nah, we here. Have I had a podcast? Yeah, I've done a couple podcasts since I got married. We talked about that, I'm sure. Go back and listen to the last episode if you haven't.
That's it.
But, yeah. But, yeah, no, you better than me.
So, it was always a point where I've always found myself in a relationship, like, one after another. Like, there was no point. At this point in my life, like, I'm single. Like,
okay.
And it's like, it's weird. And it's like, I want to dip back into old patterns so bad.
You're like what my wife would call a serial monogamist.
There was one woman who called me a serial dater.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, it's crazy. That hurts, but you are absolutely right. What did you call a serial monogamous?
Yeah, like a serial monogamous. Like
Okay.
someone that's not gonna bang multiple women at the same time, but gonna have one for a while, and then the next one not too shortly after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was me once upon a time too. I think that's the only reason I know we have these conversations. But
Before we grew up.
yeah, not facts.
Well, I'm still childish. It's all okay.
Oh man.
But yeah, cut off y'all patterns, y'all. Make sure y'all cut off your patterns and recognize them before you just stay in an endless loop of debauchery.
So, if not an album this year, maybe like a feature. Like
If anybody wants to be featured, absolutely.
That's also true.
Nah, I have like songs that are just waiting, and are just waiting for me to like re-record. I have conceptual videos. There's this one that I like. I'll show you like a little bit later.
Okay.
That I was like working on, and I have all of these ideas, and I would like to set aside time for myself to really look at these ideas and see what should take like the forefront of it all. And is there a strategy? Do I care for a strategy? I think that was one of the things about myself of like, what is this idea of strategy that I have to have? That was always, the marketing always killed me, because it was just like, it was
not easy.
It's not easy. It was annoying. It was so much to learn. I didn't care to learn. I just like, I just want to put the art out, and hopefully it resonates. And if not, then that's okay. Because like, I'm not looking to be Kendrick. I'm not looking to be, absolutely, it would be super duper phenomenal. But I'm coming to this point where it's like, this isn't the only aspect of me that I would want the world to know. This is just this is just a piece of my own puzzle that I would care to show. I want to show y'all so much more, and whether it be through events, whether it be through photography, whether it be through poetry, whether it would just be through workshops, whatever it may be. So I think I'm just getting to a point where like, I'm okay with just letting the art be what it is, and not feel so like gung-ho and hell-bent over what happens if it doesn't click. And get discouraged, because there were certain points, like 2-3 points, where I just got discouraged. It was like, nobody's listening, nobody's caring, I'm gonna just stop. And I think that is what sometimes took me away from music, because I listened so much to what people were not listening to. So it thwarted me off from it. And now I'm coming into a space where it's like, I'm really doing this for myself, for me to express.
That's crazy. So like, while you say like in the marketing, like while you say like, I don't want to like, I don't like, it's so much to learn, it's so much you have to genuinely put energy towards, and like, do you still have that mindset like with your events and the other things you do too? Because like, those require marketing too, and you still do it successfully too.
Those were more fun, because I think the events that as I was throwing, I'm able to really connect, and and people are really able to take something away from the events as well too. Rather than you just listen to a song and just like, okay, I listened to a song, great. Listen to an album once and it's like, great. But I felt like it was the curation of events where it was something very, very like experiential. And like, this is how you be immersed inside of something. I
feel that. That's how I always felt about like my own events that I'm trying to throw. You know, like, well, not trying to throw, I'm throwing.
That you throw them.
But yeah, like I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to give you an experience. Like, I care that. I care about that. Like, if way I've always looked at it, if I can break even, I can do it again. Yeah. And it's real. If they got a good night out of it and I got nothing, that's fine. Yeah.
Because essentially you threw the event for folks to enjoy themselves.
Yeah. It wasn't for me or my pockets. I mean, maybe like,
it would be great to have money in the pockets that from it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I can truly say I made a profit in both events.
Nice.
So I can't like complain about that. But if I didn't, fuck it.
It comes back somehow, somewhere.
So like, do you So I missed out on Colorful Conversations. I was at my boy's bachelor party in New Orleans. So
that's it. Great time.
Yeah.
Debauchery.
And Colorful Conversations landed in a March, so you know what time of year it was in New Orleans. So if it wasn't for that, I would have been. How was it, man? It was like the last thing that happened before the pandemic
happened.
Like the very last thing.
Literally, like next
I was
day
so
the world shut
disappointed
down.
that I didn't go because, like, I'm at some bar in Bourbon Street, but I'm looking at my gram and I see like you had the truck in the front.
Yeah. Shout out to
you
Dante
partnered with
truck.
Dante. Yeah.
Yes. We're struggling creatives.
It looked really cool, so I was like, damn. That is something. I was jealous. I ain't even gonna lie. That is something I wish I thought of. Like,
yeah.
Like, how did? Tell me about the event. I missed it.
So, it was a night that was just designed for conversations to take part, because there was this aspect that I've always went to events and always felt like, damn, it'd be great to walk away with something as well too, just like some type of thought, rather than just like, because sometimes you don't get the opportunity to have conversations. You just you go, you look at the people, you go look at the art, and then you just leave, or you network, and that's really about it. So I wanted this to be something that you hopefully took home with you, some type of intangible that could have turned into a tangible from just the conversations we had that was on like self-sustainability and group economics and relationships and creativity and wellness and wellness and self-care. So I'm like, these are things that I like to talk about with whoever, so why not create a space to do such? So the art in a sense played like the side, like played like the appetizer in this point, where it was just like engaging. Like I had Karma there, I had my friend Mariah Sky, who's a poet, and I had, oh my God, forgive me if I'm forgetting exactly who was also on it as well too. It's been a minute.
It was 3 years ago.
And I had Tanya Spice as well too.
Okay.
Who was a singer. She was a singer. She was a guitarist as well too. And
yeah, yo, she's dope.
Yeah.
Like, so she came to Feels Like R&B maybe like, it was like 3 weeks in between the events. I'm pretty sure, somewhere around there. And I remember like just sitting in the audience watching somebody perform, and she was just singing like on the side, and I'm like, yo, she got a voice, yo.
Yeah.
And like she looked at me like don't tell nobody that. I'm like, be cool. But then like I found out like, so like she performed your show, and then I found out like she DJs during the pandemic.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Like, that's pretty damn dope.
Like she was on IG Live, like, so I was like, all right, let me check her out, and she was just playing her acoustic and going. I was like, yo, she's dope, man.
Yeah.
So I could only imagine she had to be fire live.
Yeah, she was really great. It was really great, like just way to kind of like start. I think she started off the night, and it was a really great way to just have that start. And then I had two of my friends, Roshina Richards, who's an artist, who was displaying some of her art, as well as my homegirl Vic. Nice. They were both kind of just had like a display, like just so it had the aspect of everything that I love, from art to music, but at the meat and potatoes of it all, it was the conversations. And I had different moderators who were having these conversations and asking questions. So I like wrote up questions for people to ask, and like gave people notebooks and like sticky notes in order to kind of like take things away. And it turned out it was an amazing time. And then also during like the intermission, I had the truck as well, kind of like play the part as well, like play another like tap of engagement rather than having people on their phones. So it was just like, had Dante come through with the For Struggling Creatives truck, like, yo, get these dope pictures so you can also take something as well with you home as well. So
that's amazing, man.
It was a dope time, and it was just simplicity of just asking questions. And
but like it had all these nuances of a bunch of different types of mediums of art, like like you said, like the singing, the poetry, the like visual artists that you had there, and then photography on the back end with the truck there. That's crazy. Like for visual learners like myself to have all of these different mediums speaking to me at the same time, that's crazy.
Yeah,
man, I wish I went. I mean, I had a great time in NOLA, but I wish I went to that. That's dope.
There will be a Colorful Conversations too, or another idea that I've been like ruminating on for like the past chicane days of just, I've always had it on my vision board of like, I want to do this type of event. And I think this is the start to like really plan on what that is and what it looks like and what it takes to throw that.
Do you think the same venue works for you?
It can, but I also want to look into other options as well too.
Nah, like don't throw all your eggs in one bucket.
Yeah, like I love supporting Above Our Studios because it's Black owned.
Yeah,
like,
nah, thanks.
And
That's why I called him in the first place.
Yeah,
I was like, I want to rent a place and I want to give my money to Black people.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm Black, bro.
Yeah, that ass.
Shout out to Tox, but
yeah, there's other like spaces that I like know of the area that I think would also like work for something.
Yeah, because you, like I said, you have so many things happening at once, and
yeah,
like it's really cool. When you thinking?
Wait, so we in the winter right now?
Mm-hmm.
I am aiming for like a good spring summer.
Okay.
I'm aiming for like the Q2 type of situations, I would think.
Nice.
Is that Q2? I think it is.
Yeah, spring, yeah.
In that like April, May, June, March, whatever, like in that, I think would be like a great time. People are, weather's breaking, don't have to worry about so much of when it comes to like snow, XYZ, so.
Yeah, that's scary business, throwing a show and like, is it gonna snow?
Yeah.
I gotta stop throwing shows in February, man.
And I think also having some type of like patio as well, some type of like outside portion as well too, I think helps and like even open up the space.
Yeah, now that's dope because then you're not worried about trying to make it look like it's packed. Like, like
people are everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's fire. All right, we'll look out for that in the spring. That's why we're not getting music, but
that's it. Different ideas. Maybe you'll get some music on that day.
Okay. Well, okay. So there's incentive to go whenever that is. We got the early first quarter scoop, but is there anything you want to leave us with?
Just continue to understand self, understand your ways, understand things that add or deduce from your life, and do your best in order to ramp those up or begin to take away those. And be okay with checking yourself and having yourself be checked by people it is that you do know and people that you may not do know as well, because I think it all adds to yourself. And I think that's where I've been at, of just allowing myself to like kill this idea of who I am supposed to be and just allowing myself to just be who I am and understanding the beauty behind that. And from there, it's like, you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into some type of like box that I feel like we all prescribe ourselves because we have to be this way, or I have to be Shawn Crysis, or you have to be Ramsey on the mic no matter what. Like you could be so much. And I think it's like looking at our potential and what God put inside of us for us to be, that we can do so much more than just what we think that we have to do.
We're layered and multifaceted.
We are literally onions and whatever else is layered out in the world, and allowing those layers to each have their moment. Because I think that shows the dynamics of an individual.
All right, that's dope, man. All right, this is the Shawn Crysis interview. Your socials, how do they find you? I mean, it's also going to be in the description, but say it for them anyway.
So on Instagram, on Twitter, on all your DSPs, Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, Shawn Crysis, SHAWN, the only right way to spell it. Crysis, CRYSIS. I will always throw that in there.
Every Shawn does.
Because first of all right, we're gonna go quick tangent. If you look at like SEAN, like none of those letters combine and to make it like Keen is spelled like that, Kane is spelled like that. You Shane like Shane you don't see it, right? It's like Arkansas and Kansas. It's like what's the difference?
Yo, that's crazy.
And then there's the SHUN, there's the and the only on
the
is AWN, like an awning. Like that's the on. Like So it's Shawn.
Phonetically, it makes sense. for
Phonetically,
sure.
it makes sense. But so you can find me that Shawn Crysis on all your platforms. And then if you ever want to look at some beautiful photography and perspective, Scents of a Flower, like scents, like you're smelling something. Scents of a Flower. And my thrifting business.
Yeah, I was gonna say there too.
Above Average Threads with a Z. Above Average Threads for all your dope finds, all your it's a curated selection of
You
vintage
got some
pieces.
fire stuff on there, man.
Thank you.
Nah, like I like scroll through. I'm like, yeah, I'm bugging. I should scoop that.
They for the low too. Like 90% of our thing is for the low.
Like you be having like these dope starter jackets from like vintage stuff. Like I'm gonna take something off your hands.
That'd be like $80, and you go somewhere else, like $250. So.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a big fact. But all of that's also going to be in the description below. You could click all of these links. Don't do that shit while you're driving. Please don't die listening to A-Side, B-Side. I feel terrible. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you for taking the time to press play. And as always, I need you to feel this.
Yeah.